Hello there, and thank you for watching part 2 of my Moto Hint review. It's been about a week since part 1, and I've been using the Moto Hint every day since then. One of the things that I consistently noticed is that sometimes I have difficulty putting in and taking out the hint from its case. The charging contacts on the back will make a very unpleasant noise whenever it's pressed too firmly into the case. This only seems to happen whenever I try to get it to fit in perfectly. And speaking of perfectly, I never can seem to get the hint to fit in my ear the same way each time. I find myself fiddling with it a little bit longer than I think I should, and accidentally pressing the touchpad a few times before I actually get it to fit in perfectly. Although this may just be me, because I seem to have the same problem with the Google Glass headphones. Just as Motorola claimed, the battery life is around 3 hours, but the included charging dock definitely charges it very quickly, and I'm back up and running in about an hour or so. The audio quality of the device is nothing short of spectacular. It's so good, in fact, that I used it to record the audio for this review, completely untouched and unedited. Halfway through my week of review, Motorola updated the Moto Voice app, and upon inspecting the What's Changed section, lo and behold, one of the improvements was actually the performance when paired to the Moto Hint. I retested everything and every device with it after the update, and although I didn't notice much difference in audio quality, I definitely noticed a vastly improved wake-up word detection, although the device still does not work if the Moto 360 screen is illuminated. I'm sure this is by design, as even the Moto X shows a message whenever I attempt to use the wake-up word while the watch is illuminated. It's also worth mentioning that if Moto Voice needs to go to Google for anything, it will announce that it is going to do a Google search. And when it does go to a Google search, if Google were to ask you for additional information, I did notice that the Moto Hint doesn't pick it up. An example of this would be texting. If I were to send a message and say to text someone, whenever it asks if I would like to send it, I notice that unless I speak directly to the Moto X, I can't get the hint to pick up the yes or send it or anything else that I say. Texting, though, is really the only thing that I've had trouble doing with the Moto Hint, and everything else thus far has worked exceptionally well. Overall, Motorola did a great job with the device, and I had to struggle to find the few things that I did that were bothering me. The screen still illuminates in my pocket, and sending text messages still can be difficult sometimes. But all in all, Motorola's little hint packs a huge punch. And as each day of the review goes on and on, I find myself wanting to recommend the Moto Hint to friends and family more and more. The third and final part of the review will be out in a few days, but I have to say that if you're on the fence and looking for a really good Bluetooth, it's really hard for me not to recommend the Moto Hint. If you're still not sure though, stay tuned for the third and final part of the review. And as always, thanks for watching.